As I said before, I've used a number of different types of primary sources just to give you an idea of how many types of sources are available. You don't have to use every kind in your work, but I wanted to introduce you to every possible main category of primary source. It's more important really to select sources that match your inquiry lesson, that match your theme, that match your contextual paragraph, that match your learning skills that you're expecting to attain. I always really like to teach with photographs. I think photographs work at all age levels. They work extremely well for introducing the core concepts of primary source analysis. They're wonderful for talking about purpose, point of view, a lot of media literacy skills, context, giving kids an idea, a sense of the time period and the setting of the topics that they're studying. They're also very good for teaching the difference between direct observation and inference. And inference is one of those tough skills on the standardized tests that all of your students take. And photographs work very well for teaching the skills of inference. I also suggest that you collaborate constantly with your librarian to help your students identify good collections, not only good photograph collections, but other primary source collections, and to help make those connections to the inquiry topic. As students and as you go along through your studies of primary sources, you'll have to accept or reject different sources that you find. You'll have a lot of failure, but failure is very much a part of the learning process of working with primary sources. So you can accept or reject those primary sources and explain your thinking. And that's one thing that I'm going to do here. The photograph that I chose really doesn't have to do that much with veterans, but I wanted still to follow up on my great Uncle Tony, and I wanted to know what his uniform was like. What was he carrying with him? What clothing did he wear? I needed a visual image in my own mind of World War I and those soldiers and that soldier's experience. So I found a photograph that I'm going to show you now. And this is a photograph from a collection of rotogravure, which was a new printing technique in World War I, used by newspapers for the first time. I'm scrolling down here to show you that we're in the second column, photographs and other images, equipment and training of the great army that America hastily created. And if you continue down, you'll see a photograph of soldiers. Only it's actually a demo photo with words on it that explain what these soldiers were wearing. I'm clicking on the link to that, and that will bring up this link in a browser. And this is a collection in the Library of Congress. It's called Newspaper Pictorials, and you'll notice that you can only see the upper left-hand corner, but you need to practice and help your students figure out how to do some zooming, some navigation in certain primary sources that are in the Library of Congress, especially including maps. But this is an image. I'm going to zoom out a little by clicking on those blanks, and then up here you'll see a red square box. I can click anywhere to highlight any portion of this. Now I can't really see the words, so I'm going to zoom back in, click on the box, and see what words I can find. As you help students move through this kind of an image, what kind of questions would you have? See, the inquiry doesn't stop here. Inquiry is all about asking questions, not just analyzing an image. So what kind of questions? Well, I have a few. Why did they wear steel helmets? What were their water bottles made of? What is this? I'm dragging my mouse over this right now. That's a helmet. Is that the kind of helmet our soldiers use today? If I click on the far right, I see there's an indication of a bayonet. I thought a bayonet went on a gun. Where's the gun? Let's keep looking. Here's a gun. It's called a Springfield rifle. My guess is that you have students who would be extremely interested in researching what a Springfield rifle is, and so on and so forth. Keep asking the questions. Have your students keep track of their questions. Maybe some of them will want to look into rifles. Maybe some would like to know what's the deal with gas masks, and so on and so forth. Questions. Primary source teaching is all about questions.